Numerous reports indicate that tens of thousands of foreigners are being brought into the U.S. These foreigners are being referred to as migrants. They are not migrants. We must remember that the U.S. has an estimated hundreds of thousands of foreign fighters fighting in its global wars, and that these foreigners need to receive military training. The current wave of foreigners are gotten from Ecuador, Venezuela, West Africa, Eastern Europe, and all over the world. These foreign fighter trainees are being mislabeled as migrants. If the vast multitudes being brought into the U.S. really were migrants, you would expect the U.S. to release all migrants from the migrant prisons and allow them to unite with their U.S. relatives. You would expect the U.S. to stop intercepting border crossers. You would expect all unaccompanied minors to be released from the migrant prisons and be allowed to unite with their U.S. relatives. The unaccompanied minors always carry with them the address and phone number of their U.S. relatives. When these minors cross the border, their U.S. relatives are already waiting for them on the U.S. side of the border, but U.S. border agents intercept and arrest the children. We know how migrants are treated. As shown by the photos from Project Veritas, their wrists are tied behind their backs with zip ties and plastic bags are put over their heads, and the migrants are made to lay down on concrete floors. They are surrounded by a metal fence, they are crowded, and there is no ventilation for migrants within the migrant prisons. They are kept in a state of dehydration and starvation, including crying toddlers in soiled diapers who either traveled with siblings or were taken from parents who tried to enter America. And when given something to eat, around once a day, it is always cold food that often tastes rotten. Migrants are chased on horseback and hit with horse reins and other objects. They are deliberately run over with vehicles by border agents, causing death or permanent crippling. Real migrants are not given the red carpet treatment. An American embassy destroyed all the passports in their possession of Sudanese people. They would have been eligible to travel abroad to other nations as asylum seekers and were waiting for the U.S. Embassy to process their requests. The U.S. Embassy said it destroyed all the Sudanese passports by mistake. The Sudanese are stuck in a war imposed upon them by NATO. The point is that migrants from countries in the global south are not treated well. In Houston, Texas, in Liberty County, there is a piece of land over 51 square miles. It is known as Colony Ridge. It consists of numerous housing subdivisions, occupied by foreign fighter trainees who are wrongly mislabeled as migrants. The Governor Greg Abbott and the Attorney General Ken Paxton are not interested in stopping this. They've only made non-committal weak statements. The state's ban on so-called sanctuary cities is for some odd reason not being enforced on Colony Ridge. William Trey Harris, who is a major campaign donor to Greg Abbott, aggressively spoke out in favor of the foreigners in Colony Ridge. William is a wealthy housing developer who is making money off of Colony Ridge. William says that the foreigners who live there are not illegal migrants. Colony Ridge is not the only such colony in existence. All this is more proof that the foreigners are not migrants but trainees who will fight in the U.S. wars abroad.
Oh, it's crazy actually. It's really crazy in Iraq. Because since the first day I stepped my feet in Iraq, every day there was a bombing. As soon as I reached in Iraq, I called my mom. I said, "Mom, I'm in Iraq." She said, "Oh, what?" I said, "I'm in Iraq." No, you're kidding." I said, "No, Mom, I'm not kidding."
We were briefed on Peruvian and Colombian guards. At the time was about $1,000 to $1,200. And then 6 months, a year ago, it became Ugandan guards at about $800 a month. Now, on this most recent trip, the company that is winning all the awards said, well, we've got a good strategy. We're using Sierra Leoneans. And so what are we paying for them? It's about $250 a month.
If you're looking for young men to perform military jobs, the chances are quite good that they have also been child soldiers.
You need to shoot your parent. That can show you that you have the mind to shoot another person. If not that, every day you remember, you think that I've killed my father, I've killed my mother. Who next again I cannot kill?
When the blood was in Iraq, that time I remember. So this is the war. And this is what happened in Sierra Leone. This is not good. But because of money. I'm jobless. I don't have a job.
We're exploiting people, using young people who've been child soldiers, deliberately sending them into the jaws of combat. Nothing could be worse for these young people. Nothing could be worse for security.
You know, I guess rhetorically, I don't expect you to answer it. You know, can we go a little lower? Could we find someone that's like, we'll do it for board and room?
The video platform Bitchute, along with its founder, is a bastion of censorship and stunning hypocrisy. It aggressively censors and actually rejects free speech that disproves the Eurocentric worldview. It allows in accord with its so-called community guidelines satanic blasphemies against Christianity, pornographic videos especially if they show undressed Negroes, but if the video shows undressed Europeans, that is when they put a restriction on the video after it is flagged, but they put no restrictions on videos showing undressed Negroes. Bitchute promotes videos that sell perverted objects and life-size dolls used for unnatural fornication. For example, I flagged a truly gross video that was advertising for sale a life-sized Japanese doll. The bottom of its feet had an opening explicitly resembling the female organ. The purpose of that opening was so that perverted men could insert the male anatomy as a point of friction for fornication. I flagged the video, but Bitchute responded to me that the video is in line with their policies, even though the video is immoral and actually violates their written policies. Bitchute allows videos advertising perverted inanimate objects used for fornication. It allows promotion of links to pornographic websites. It allows ethnic bigot videos that dehumanize and gratuitously use racial slurs against Negroes, including in the video thumbnails. It allows comments that use racial slurs against Negroes and that say the entire race should be killed off, when such videos and genocidal or satanic comments are flagged. Bitchute replies that such content does not violate their policies, or they just give you the silent treatment while leaving up all such content. Indeed, demonic genocidal comments get many up votes and 0 down votes. Bigoted videos are widely promoted by Bitchute. In fact, 85% of all traffic on Bitchute is received by just 12% of Bitchute accounts. These accounts overwhelmingly feature bigoted and dehumanizing content that violates the written policies of Bitchute. Bitchute does not enforce its own worthless written policies. Bitchute recently banned me, without any prior warning whatsoever, from posting comments even beneath my own videos even though I followed their policies, and is refusing to reinstate my ability to comment. Even though I told Bitchute that I will only promote links to my videos and that I will not converse with anyone anymore since it appears I crossed an invisible line. I also told Bitchute that they are obviously opposed to me engaging in factual rebuttals against ethnic bigots who are hurling racial slurs at me and saying demonic things. All because they are angry that I make videos about African geniuses and that therefore their Eurocentrism is unfounded. The comments section is how I mainly promoted my videos. Because I noticed that Bitchute began delaying approval of my videos, sometimes for a day or more, when I began promoting content about African inventors. Anyhow, I mentioned facts in response to ethnic bigots. I presented data to them showing that Anglo-American males commit 70% of suicides despite only being 30% of the US population. I also presented other facts, in order for them to rethink their bigotry and wickedness. Such facts are the reason that Bitchute banned me from commenting under all videos including my own. Even though I presented such facts underneath the videos of other accounts, and even though other accounts have the power of moderation and therefore can delete comments or block people, Bitchute is angry at the facts, and has a diabolical agenda of anti-Christianity and upholding racial supremacy. It even allows satanic individuals who hurl racial slurs to post comments featuring a photo of a Negro baby being aborted. Bitchute is like a video version of the most popular pornographic magazines in the US, but far worse in many respects. Such magazines issue social political commentary and interviews. Not every page is pornographic. That is how they are formatted, according to the available information. They can be described as pornographic news magazines. Bitchute also promotes a lot of pornography and has some commentary on political issues.